everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Bros Who Know. I know a lot of you were thinking, bros, where'd you go? But we're back. And what an incredible couple of weeks it's been. I'm Dr. Jeff LeCure. To my right is Richard the Big Dog Yancey. We're going black and pink with you today. We thought about being Wiz Khalifa and going black and yellow, but I said, I'm going pink. Yellow's not my color. Hey, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. There's so much to talk about. Rich and I have decided to talk to you about something that just popped up last night, where the local police, state troopers, SWAT team on the ground, working for the community in the state of Pennsylvania, came out on an ABC News interview. And you know ABC is a very liberal media group, so they don't want this to be the news. But they came out and said flat out, and we're going to show you this clip where one of the SWAT team members on the ground said, we had no briefing with the Secret Service, we had no pre-planning with the Secret Service, and this was unusual and not something that he had ever experienced before. And then I want you to watch the shocked look on the reporter's face when he said, no communication? Because remember, that doesn't fit the liberal agenda. And he goes, no communication until after the bullets started firing. So take a look at this clip. It's about 35 seconds, 40 seconds long. It'll blow your mind. And then Rich will give you some of his thoughts on it.
Recognized him as suspicious, even took pictures of him. None of the concerns, though, had a chance of reaching decision makers before Trump took the stage because of what these men and women described as failures of planning and communication.
We were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. So I think that was probably a pivotal point where I started thinking things were wrong, because that never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
Not until after the shooting.
And by then?
It was too late.
Richie, what do you think, man? That's crazy. That's
Jeff,
crazy.
I tell you time and time, I want to get away from this politics, but you keep pulling me in. Like, is there a reason why you keep pulling me in, bud?
Yes, you know why? Because they couldn't get him in jail. They couldn't vote him out. So I think somebody decided, I guess we got to kill him.
All right. Well, here we go. So now you got me in.
Yeah.
All right. I want to relax today, but obviously I can't relax. So this is either going to harm me, or they're gonna either like me or hate me right now.
Grand opening.
Grand closing. So listen, here's the deal, right? So when you have something that's blatantly stupid, two things can happen out of that. Either it's planned, right, or it's stupid.
That's it.
And with me, when something's so stupid, I have to think that it's planned, all right? But either way, I don't know, because I don't have the information. I'm not in the know situation, right? So the question, that's the question. Like, what's going on here? Because it makes no sense. Of course, so the law enforcement, they're all supposed to work in together.
That's right.
All right. And the reason why is because if you work together, you can cover more. Makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
So you have X covering this, you have Y covering this, you have Z covering this, and as a team, you cover more. You cover more ground. You cover more communication. You cover more. You have more eyes on deck. So this out the gate doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay. So here you have a young kid, 20 years old. It's a nuance for him. Something that he doesn't even he has no training on. Okay. Walking, right, with like military clothes on, right?
Right.
With holding a ladder, right? He gets to walk from A to B, put the ladder on B, climb up on the ladder, lay down. People yelling at him, and what's crazy is normal human reaction would be he would run away, right?
Right.
If everyone's pointing at him yelling at him, he would run away. Lays down, puts the gun in his hand, align the gun, takes off 8 rounds, and then he dies. I don't know. I'm talking about either he's a lucky guy. Oh, not to mention he found the right building.
Right.
So the probability of all that happening, I don't know. Have you taken probability in college?
Oh, I did, Rich.
It's very low.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. This is one of two things. This is the most colossal security incompetence in the history of the country, maybe minus Pearl Harbor. But here's the deal. The Secret Service has one job, and that's to protect the president. And there is no more controversial figure, love him or hate him or somewhere in between, than Donald Trump. They know, right? They know the vitriol and the enthusiasm, the love and the hate that he brings, and yet you have a line of sight within 150 yards, wide open, wide open. You have no drones. You have clearly now, unless the local officials are lying, and they have no incentive to lie, they're not incentivized to lie, are saying Secret Service never met with us to discuss the security details, not once. And a person who had worked with Secret Service before, did I say Social Security? Same thing. It's another bad government thing. That Secret Service that he had worked with before, very detailed oriented, and they made it real clear as Secret Service, we call the shots. We don't want your feedback. We don't want your information. We're going to tell you where to be, how to be, and what to be. And that didn't happen. And for a kid that was identified over an hour before, because he comes in with a backpack, red flag, right? And comes in with the scope that allows someone to gain distance. And now we're hearing, haven't confirmed it, but by the time this episode airs, Rich, we're going to know that the word on the street right now is that law enforcement all the way around are lying publicly, and that this kid was on their radar screen.
Wow. Well, again, so even with that being said, right? Now we have the question of the Secret Service protecting him after the fact, right? So obviously, so this is where it gets. That's why I say I hate talking about politics, because it's a
tiring,
mess.
isn't it?
The whole
It's
thing's
tiring.
a mess.
It's tiring.
So you mean to tell me you're going to pick the shortest person to protect him in the front of him?
Right.
So the tall person's in the back,
Correct.
right? All the tall people around him, and then right in front of him, you pick the shortest person
Right.
in the crew, so his whole head and chest is shown, right?
Right.
So as I said, all the way, so 360, all the way around, it smells a little fishy. I don't know.
It does
like I
smell,
said,
doesn't it?
well, the thing is that I can't believe. Only reason why it smells is because I can't believe the incompetence. I'm telling a little kid could do better than that. I'm telling someone who's playing Battleship would do a better job, dealing with the situation. So I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. It makes zero sense to me.
The FBI knew that Iran had put a hit out on Trump for
Yes,
taking
that's
out
so many-
Soleimani.
yeah, it's so-
that
it's-
was out there. So you got to think, wait a minute, they're going to bring, if they're going to do it more, it might be saber rattling. They're going to bring a professional sniper that won't miss from 150 yards. How did this guy, right? How
Well,
did
20
this
years
guy
old,
get up on a roof?
walk to the roof. Forget about get on.
Yeah.
Walk in a field where everyone can see him. He didn't
Gets
sneak.
up on a roof.
He wasn't already on the roof hiding.
Right.
He walked to the roof.
Yeah,
yes.
he's just wandering around. There's no red flag in that.
Well, what makes sense too? What doesn't make any sense is, like I said, normal behavior. You're a psychologist.
Yeah, I am.
When someone says, "Hey, what are you doing on the roof?" or "Get off he has a gun," like, wouldn't you panic?
Yeah,
But he didn't even panic. He didn't do anything. He went straight to business.
he sure did. He got off 8 shots.
8.
8 shots.
That's crazy.
There's a wonderful visual out there, and if we can find it, folks, we'll put it on for you to see. It's out there though. The FBI. There's no question it's the FBI because the dude's wearing an FBI shirt. 2 or 3 days after the kid took a headshot and ended up dead, the FBI has got a hose, and they're cleaning the roof.
Which you would think they have a hazmat team or someone else.
Why would you clean the roof?
Well, you would need this.
Why is the FBI, first of all?
Right.
Imagine being an agent.
Wouldn't the crime scene?
Yeah.
Wouldn't CSI? Wouldn't they?
Can you imagine, Richie, if you and I were both FBI agents and they said, "Hey, Rich, Jeff, you know what your job is today? It's not saving the world. It's not some covert mission. You got to go clean blood and brain matter off a roof."
Well,
That's
what the craziest thing is, it's blatant. Everything's blatant. So either they think we're dumb, or they're dumb, someone's dumb, or it's planned. I have no idea. But again, this is a hot topic. This is why I don't want to talk about it, because I don't want to bring heat on me by bringing this up.
Talk more about that, Rich. What do you when you go the heat on you? What do you anticipate? What are you nervous could happen by talking about it?
Well, the crazy thing about this whole situation, even with Trump, all right, you're gonna have people that love Trump, you're gonna have people that hate Trump. But listen, that's what voting's for. If you don't
That's
like
right.
someone, right,
Vote
then
'em
you
out.
vote. You vote someone. You vote different.
Yeah.
Vote someone else. The fact that there's so much hatred right now, right, that you can't even say who you want and to be the president. It's outrageous to me because it's supposed to be the way we grew up. I don't know how everyone else grew up. It's the best man wins.
Yep.
Whatever happens to the best man wins.
Right.
So you have to. I'm telling you, it's his right to try to be the president of the United States, whether you like him or not. It's his right to try to be the president of the United States. If he gets enough votes, he will be the president of the United States. If you have a problem, if you don't like him, do sales. Go out there, get all your friends to vote against him.
Don't
Do
vote.
what you have to do, but why hate the man?
And
You
you
know
know
what I mean?
what, Rich? You bring up a wonderful point, sad one, but a wonderful point is that the left, and I'm going to call a lot of them the loony left, right? Because not all Democrats are goofballs and not all Republicans are extreme, right? God, I love the narrative that's out there. But here's an undeniable, or as we say, irrefutable fact. That's us, right? We're irrefutably authentic. Say what you want, folks, but at least we put it out there and we don't bullshit people like what we see out there in the media. But here's the bottom line: when people, including the president and the vice president and congresswomen and senators, continue to call Trump Hitler and a threat to democracy, at some point someone starts to believe it. And to conflate, no matter what you feel about Trump, what anybody feels about Trump, or any politician for that matter, to conflate them with Hitler is ignorant and as dangerous as it comes. But at some point, right, stupid minds, as you mentioned, go, oh, okay, this is the next Hitler. I'm going to take him out and be a hero. And the irony I found, Rich, is the bullshit that the left said for like 24 hours. We got to calm the rhetoric. We don't support political violence. Within 72 hours, that fuel heated up again, and even Joe Biden, when he stepped down in his talk, said he's a threat to democracy. Harris has said the same thing in her little coronation speeches in Minnesota and Milwaukee and in Texas, right? And that, here's where you and I agree, and most Americans agree, Rich, is had it been Biden, we would have been equally as upset because it's the office of the presidency. And in the greatest country in the world, and I still think we are, though we're slipping, if you could take out the leader, no matter how you feel about that leader, something's terribly wrong.
Oh yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's supposed to, like we always had the premise of maybe the strongest guy win, or maybe the best man wins, right?
Yeah.
And that narrative is changing, and I'll bring it to a step further. So what happens is that once there should be some kind of rules, and when you have two sides going against each other, as far as one used to be sacred as family. I don't know why they bring in family. You never bring family involved in politics. Like family should be off limits. There should be a lot of things that's off limits, because what happens is that when they raise the bar and they say whatever they want to say, like calling him Hitler, then he has to raise the bar.
That's right.
And then when you do that, at a certain point, it's no good for the country.
No.
Because when you burn the American flag, I don't care.
Isn't that crazy?
Listen, so, like I said, I hate talking about politics, but here's the deal, right? This is the truth. We are Americans. And when you burn the flag, you're basically saying that you don't like yourself.
That's right.
All right, so you have a problem with yourself at that point. Because if you don't believe in something, you believe in nothing.
That's right.
And this is our country. I'm
That's
telling you,
right.
as an American, you should be proud to be an American, and you should never. Matter of fact, if you see someone else burning the flag, that should offend you.
Absolutely.
Forget about you burning the flag. I'm telling you, we are Americans. We should love each other. Now look, Democrats and Republicans, no matter, they're still part of the government. They're still Americans. A Republican's an American, a Democrat's an American. Although we have different views, all right, we are, whatever we care about or we love, whatever direction that we're going politically, the best man wins. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
To try to put people down as far as like he's Hitler and this and that and the other. That's only thing that does is fuel hate.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's on either side. I'm not, so that's what I'm talking about, in general, as Americans, we have to figure out how we can vote, right, without having so much hatred. Cause you can't even you bring up Trump.
Oh, it's over. Oh, it's ugly, isn't it?
You bring up Trump, you bring up COVID.
Yeah.
God forbid if back in the day, if you're like, listen, I don't believe in this COVID shot. You got beat up. It shouldn't be like that,
Correct.
right? Am I right or wrong? I don't know.
Correct. Yeah, Rich, it's crazy, and then look at the following events after the assassination attempt, and we don't know all the details yet, and that's why we're having this conversation. We want people talking. We want them informed. I like your message of unity. It would be nice if we could do it. Used to be a vote was a vote, and now what we are finding out, and so America, you got to wake the hell up. The curtain of lies has now been removed, and we've seen what happened, right? Biden had no shot of winning the election. If he was truly a great man, and he is not, in my opinion, people could disagree.
Right.
I'm not saying he's like a bad dude or at his heart he's like evil, and I'm certainly not going to call him any dictator names. But do I think he's a good man? I don't. Not at all. Not with his policies. But if he was really a good man and loved this country, he would have stayed in the election and he would have lost. But you know what happened? His donors said, hey, Joe, you got to get out. You're going to lose, and we're going to lose big bucks, and we're going to lose power. And here's what I'm making a prediction now. You know what we're going to find out sooner than later, Rich?
What's that?
He got paid. He got paid big bucks. Because you know what? Say what you want about Joe Biden. Say what you want about Donald Trump. Both of them are proud men, and they didn't want to give up power, clearly.
Of course.
So a bullet tried to take out Trump because he wasn't going to step down. And the Democrats took out Biden. They took out their own dude, Rich, without one vote. You're talking about voting. No one voted for Kamala or whatever the hell her name is. I know in some ways I'm making a mockery of her. You know why I'm making a mockery of her? Because she's not legitimate, right? Not one Democrat in our state voted for her. They just passed the baton to her and said, here you go. And that is a direct follow-up of what is going on in our political system. And in spirit, you and I are on the same page is the best person should win. You vote person in, you vote them out. But what we're finding now is the election's going to come down to 5 states. Wisconsin, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and I'm leaving out one more. So no one cares what happens in Massachusetts. California's clearly going to vote Democrat. You see what I mean?
Right.
So votes almost don't even matter anymore.
See, we only know this because so there's a phenomenon going on, and I don't think that a lot of Americans understand that.
They love ignorance.
Is that the phenomenon is this: when you have technology injected into America's lifestyle, what happens is the truth comes out. This has always been happening. It's just that we didn't know it, right? And so technology meaning. Now I'm talking. Everyone has their cell phones.
They
everyone
sure do, right?
Like you can't do anything.
Can't hide anymore.
You can't. Yeah. So now it's just in your face.
Right.
And when it's in our face, it's hard to digest because it's a phenomenon that we're not used to. Had this been 50 years ago, it would have just said they tried to assassinate him and it's X, Y, and Z. No one would have questioned it. But now you have people saying, wait a second, that's weird. We saw the guy walk up there. We have video of him walking up. We have video of this and that and the other.
That's right.
The problem now is, and this is a slippery slope, and this is what Americans don't understand. It's a slippery slope, even though they're going to get some pushback. But at some point, because we're human beings, everybody did something bad in their life. But because of technology, you could be, you did 10% you did bad in your life. 90% you did good. That 10% is going to show up.
That's
so
right.
Listen, I want to be a president.
Now
now they got this 10% that got on me like, forget it, I don't want to be president. Pretty soon, no one's going to want to be president. Pretty soon, no one's going to want to be a police officer. Pretty soon, technology, that's what technology does. It exposes the lies.
That's right.
And the problem with it is, and you're a psychologist, listen, lies are necessary. And I'll give you an example. Right? This is what most human beings don't understand. Like, they'll say, "We mean, Rich, lies are necessary."
They are.
I'm gonna tell you why it's necessary. We lie to our kids when we say Santa Claus.
That's right.
Right? Lies are necessary because it gives that kid
Hope.
hope. Exactly.
That's
You
right.
take that away, you just give him truth. He might not want to be anything. He might
That's
not
right.
want to do anything.
That's right.
We get lied to every day about certain things. But
That's
I don't
right.
want to get into all that. But what I'm saying to you is,
Yeah.
we're losing our way.
Oh, it's
We're
lost
losing
it.
our way. The truth is coming at us at such speed that it's hard to digest.
That's right.
And,
It's frightening, Rich. I tell you, and Rich and I have known each other a long time, and one of the reasons you and I decided to put this podcast together is because we sort of represent common folk, and what I mean by that is, Rich and we're not common. if you delve into us a little bit, we're not common, but we try to give the every man and every woman a voice of reason, and we try to tell the truth.
right.
Right? We're not two podcasters who are putting out content that think feelings, right, are more important than facts. We're here talking about facts, and then we give you our feelings about them.
Right.
And what has been exposed over the last 50 years, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm going to bring it up quick, just super quick, is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running for president too. And, he started running as a Democrat, and they told him, no, you can't, right? They did not want to have an open kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a debate, but not the conference. Look at I'm tongue-tied. I'm so upset about it, Rich. They didn't want to have an open convention.
Right.
It was Biden or bust, right? So Kennedy says, I'm going to go by myself. I want people to tune into his interviews. He doesn't even waver on this. He flat out says the CIA killed my uncle.
Wow.
Right? He doesn't guess. He doesn't say, I think they might have something. He just comes very calmly, the CIA killed my uncle. Now remember, this is one of the most connected historical political families in the world. He probably has some insider information.
Right.
But if you flash forward, and I love how you said it, Rich, because I think you're hitting the nail on the head for the every person in this country, the real folk. They must think we're stupid if they think a 20-year-old numbnut kid who's washing dishes at a nursing home
can plan this
could walk in
and execute this.
and take 8 shots. There's no way.
Well, there's only one
no
way.
way.
In cartoon land and Disneyland.
Yeah.
But in reality, listen, that kid, if we told that kid to steal 20 different chocolate bars from Walgreens,
Yeah.
he'll get caught.
Oh,
If we told him to go into a Foot Locker, try in some sneakers,
take some sneaks, yeah.
and walk out,
Yeah.
he'll get caught.
Absolutely.
All right. Tell him to go into Stop and Shop, sit there for 5 minutes and dig up his nose to get a boogie out.
Yeah.
He'll get caught.
He'll get caught.
But he didn't get caught walking all the way with a with a ladder.
Right.
Let me tell you, he should have got caught when before the ladder even hit the building. He should have got caught.
Absolutely.
Never mind walking up
Right.
up the ladder and then lay down with a whole bunch of people yelling at him. I'm telling
With
you,
the future president doing a talk.
it's mind-boggling.
My first reaction, Rich, when I heard, it's one of those things you remember where you were. I was with my basketball team in Maine. It's hot as hell. I'm back in the dorm room, and all of a sudden I see this thing pop up on my phone. I even texted. I was like, "Can you believe President Trump got shot?" But my first thought was, "There's no way," and I still believe it. And I support your theory. There's one of two things. It's either really gross incompetence or there was some shit. And there was some shit. I don't know what it is. I got ideas. But do I think it was just purely gross incompetence? No way.
Well,
not the Secret Service.
And that's
not the Secret Service.
And that's the problem. It's not because you're a conspiracy theorist. It's that you cannot believe someone could be that stupid.
Right.
That's all that is. I'm telling you. So
you and I would not be able to get on
Right.
that roof
So-
that day with a gun,
listen,
Rich.
let me tell you, if my
No way.
kid, even if my child did something that was really, really stupid, right?
Yeah.
Right? I know my child.
Yeah.
I know they're not that stupid. So it must be
Well, that's smart.
So they must have wanted to piss me off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it doesn't make no other logical explanation could possibly
No.
happen. And so here's the deal. This is what I need all the Americans to understand. First of all, we're all American, okay? Whether you're Democrat, Republican, we're all American.
That's right.
But what people have to understand is it's unfortunate, all right, when you run a country, you cannot do everything right or you'll lose the country.
That's
you
right.
can't. Life doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
As a country, you have to do some things that people might not like, but it's necessary.
That's right.
And people are naive to think that you can just be good without having anything bad. It's when you let's make a statement so people understand. Anytime you kill another human being, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's necessary. You don't want to. When you go into a war, no human being wants to kill somebody.
No, but
But-
it's the job.
But that's the job, and it's necessary.
Right.
Now, if it's not necessary, right, then you're going to hell.
That's right.
I can't tell you that if someone on our Navy or in our Air Force, when they kill another person, I hope they're going to heaven because they didn't do anything wrong. They did something that was
They
necessary.
did their job.
And what I'm saying to you is that the people that are goody two shoes in the world that thinks that you could just be good your whole life and not do anything bad, it's not even.
That's fantasy. Isn't it?
That's fantasy. So that being said, why
Yeah.
I'm bringing this up, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. Even if some truth exposed as a lie, that lie might have been necessary.
That's right.
So we're not blaming you for that lie.
That's right.
Okay, that lie might have been necessary for the greater good. I don't know. That's
Could
not
happen.
my place.
Right? It could happen.
Yeah, that's not my place.
Here's the
but when
thing.
we see a lot of shenanigans going on,
That's
that
right.
could be lies. You know what I mean?
Then we know something's up.
Right.
And let's close it on this discussion, Rich. Is upset, like truly upset. I was sad, I was angry. It was Wizard of Oz stuff, right? Like I knew behind that curtain there was some bullshit going on. The wizard wasn't real. The amount of losers and fools and idiots and lowlifes, and some of them politicians and public figures and school teachers and superintendents and principals saying, next time get a better shooter. Or
That's
this
terrible.
one,
That's terrible.
like
terrible.
how someone could look themselves in the mirror and they think they're like being patriotic or
That's
funny
terrible.
when they go, the firefighter who took a bullet in the head and dies on the scene, his head just exploded everywhere, and people are out tweeting, well, one less Trump supporter.
That's terrible.
How sick, and I'm a shrink. I'll tell you how sick. How sick and demented do you have to be?
Can I take some?
And
don't-
Rich, I'll just throw this one
use
last
your word.
thing and then
Use
I'll
your
give it
word.
to
Subhuman. That's
Oh, it's
subhuman.
subhuman piece
Yeah,
of
that's your
garbage.
word, yep.
And see, the interesting thing, Rich, and you and I have talked a lot about it, I think this is some of what motivated us to do a podcast. George Floyd got shot, and we burned cities down. Boy, you don't see conservatives in the street, do you? Do you see conservatives in the
No.
street burning down buildings, burning down churches, burning down police stations, burning down people's stores because an assassin's bullet went at Trump and that people actually said that was a good thing, or that they need to have a better shooter next time, or one less Trump supporter, yay us? No, you know why? Because there's some craziness on one side of the political spectrum. And it is loud, it is proud, and it was exposed again on the National Olympic Committee. We'll probably talk about
Right.
that
And
one.
I'm
Rich,
gonna-
I'll give you the final
Yeah,
word,
I'm
and
gonna
we'll
jump
sign
to
off
that.
today.
I didn't even want to talk about those people because they're insignificant. And what's sad is this: they are mothers and fathers of children. So imagine what they're teaching them. Like I said, we're all American, and we might have different views, but we're American. And lucky that we live in this country, because we can have these thoughts and have these views, and not and supposedly, allegedly, we're not supposed to get attacked for these views.
Although you and I have been,
Exactly.
right?
The people that say those things, they're not American.
No.
That's un-American. That's not even.
Isn't that true,
That's,
Rich?
yeah, they're not American. They're the same person that will burn the flag.
That's right.
So I don't have anything to say to those people.
I like that, Rich, because you don't validate their insanity. You go, they're insignificant. I love that. I
They
love
don't
that.
It's terrible.
Hey, just a quick side note, because I happened to mention to Rich that, we're not always greeted with a big, warm, fuzzy hug. Not that we need to. We're both in relationships, but a fuzzy hug would be kind of cool. Uh, but a lot of you tuned in when Rich and I flat out said we had questions about the safety of the vaccine and maybe more importantly, the efficacy of the vaccine. And we've been proven right, again, because facts don't give a shit about your feelings. And that's what we do. We talk about facts and our feelings about the facts. But you know what? YouTube took us down, didn't they? Immediately took us down, saying we were spreading disinformation. I don't know if you could see, but just to my right shoulder, just to Richie's left shoulder, is the American flag. And what that flag says, right, is that you have a right to state your opinion even if it's crazy, even if it's wrong, but you have a right. But in 2022, when you and I stated our opinion on what we believe based on the science, on the efficacy of the vaccine, which we've now been proven right, we got taken down. We got canceled. Well, guess what? We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
And we do have the American flag, and we are American, and that's why we're a little upset about the we'll talk about that later. The migrants that are just coming in, the immigrants are just coming in.
Yeah.
Because we have to take care of our own first.
We sure do.
And everyone should come in this country legally. There's a process to do it. We have to figure out a process and do it the right way.
And I know somebody really, really close to me, really good guy. You probably would like him, who came into this country legally, did it the right way, had to wait 1.5 years to do it. You know who that was?
Who was that?
Me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, and you're a good guy, brother.
Right? I had to wait 1.5 years, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, on that happy note, on behalf of Rich Yancey, the big dog, the Dark Knight, the Will Smith in a much happier mood, a podcast. I'm Dr. Jeff LaCure. This has been another episode of Bros Who Know. We'll see you again in August. Stay tuned. Spread the word. Like and subscribe. We bring you some content that others are afraid to. We do love you. Be good.